Well, as we mark the end of Hispanic Heritage Month here at News 12, we shine a spotlight on the second highest ranking member of the NYPD. First Deputy Commissioner Edward Caban rose through the ranks and is now the highest ranking Hispanic in the department and the only Puerto Rican to ever hold the position. While we sat down at police headquarters discussing his efforts to create change and building on his father's legacy.
Eddie Caban's just a normal guy. I'm an everyday New Yorker, just like you, just like everybody out on that street. I love my communities.
First Deputy Commissioner of the NYPD, Edward Caban, describes himself as just a kid from the boogie-down Bronx with deep Hispanic roots.
I'm third generation Puerto Rican. My parents' parents are from Ponce, Puerto Rico. So born and raised in the Bronx. My parents were raised in Harlem.
He says he had a passion to protect, joining New York's finest in 1991 on patrol in the South Bronx, and while he never looked back.
Over my 30 years working in 10 different commands, I've crisscrossed 3 boroughs. I've worked 10 years in the Bronx, I worked 10 years in Manhattan North, and 10 years in Brooklyn North.
The father of 2 and husband to Lady shared one of his fondest memories on the force.
I was part of the New York City Police Department in the 90s, working in the Bronx as a lieutenant, and I had the opportunity to work every Yankee game and watch them win 4 World Series out of 5s. It was probably the best times of my career.
Caban says he didn't need convincing to join the department. His recruiter was the person he simply called Dad.
He was a first-grade detective at the New York City Transit Police Department. He was the driving force in telling me the only way you could make change is by being at the top. That's your way to help others coming up behind you.
His father's picture and the inspiration behind his career now hangs on a wall in his office.
And he always taught me, which I'll always remember, it's not what you have on your tool belt that's going to help you out in the streets. It's your mouth. It's how you talk to people, how you treat them.
He says in his early days, he didn't quite see the possibilities of what he could become in the department.
There wasn't faces that looked like me.
Now, he's the highest ranking Hispanic in the NYPD, leading the largest police force in the nation. To know now that when rookies are coming into their own precincts and they look up and see your photo, what do you think that means to them?
I think it brings a sense of pride to many Hispanics coming on the job. I think it enables them to see, look what I could attain in the New York City Police Department if I work hard.
As we toured Caban's office at police headquarters,
That's when I was sworn in as first Deputy Commissioner.
it was hard not to notice this photo. What does that mean to you?
It signifies pride, and not only for myself, but standing next to the first African-American female who shattered a glass ceiling for 177 years. Those two next to each other, that's pride to me.
While Caban says he didn't see himself represented in the early days of his career, 3 decades later, he's confident that others now will.